Dear respected teachers, dear friends, welcome to the second day of the Wake Up Retreat. The reason that I say that I didn't trust you in knowing how to practice when we listen to the sound of the bell, because I'm supposed to give the sharing on basic practices. So I'd like to just let you practice on your own, and I will review later, just to have some tests. It is my intention that for today's talk, we can review the practice, the basic practices together, and I'd like to also give you some tests. So, I'd like to ask, when you listen to the three sounds of the bell, what do you do? Just recall previously when my brother was inviting three sounds of the bell, and what do you practice? Of course, we're supposed to come back to our mindful breathing, yes? And then you close your eyes or not? Yes, close your eyes. Do you relax your body? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you smile? Yes? Okay, good. Yeah, because I noticed that in the 16 and mindful exercises, there are like 3 exercises on like gladdening the mind. So I opened this book and I saw exercise number 5, breathing in, I feel joyful. Breathing out, I feel joyful. A person practices like this. And exercise number 6, breathing in, I feel happy. Breathing out, I feel happy. A person practices like this. And then exercise number 10, breathing in, I give rise to happiness in my mind. Breathing out, I give happiness in my mind. A person practices like this. The gladdening the mind is a very crucial practice of mindfulness. We acknowledge that suffering exists, and we know that many of us, especially young people in the society, carry within us a lot of stress. Stress from school, from work, stress from relationships. And also the pressure like that we ourselves put on ourselves because of all the expectation that we expectation of ourselves, expectation that others put on ourselves, and all the demands in life. But our teacher always reminds us that we remember to cultivate peace and joy before we begin our meditation practice, our meditation session. But that the peace and joy can be like the source that help us deal with the difficulty, deal with the suffering inside us. And whatever we do, we find meaning, we find joy in doing that. And remember, when you do sitting meditation or walking meditation, remember to give rise to happiness by offering a gentle smile. That is called the mindful smile on your face. Yeah. So I want to ask, like, for example, this morning meditation, will you be able to maintain your mindful smile? No? Some on and off? Yeah. Because I experienced this myself. Maybe for the first 10 minutes, I were able to generate peace and joy. But then later on, I found that I have some frown on my face, or yes, somehow something heavy that occur on my face. I recognize that, and so I have lost awareness of my mindful smile to continue to maintain peace and happiness for myself during my meditation. And I look around. Sometimes I look around. I check my neighbors, and I also saw that they were not very smiling in the meditation. So this is a reminder for us. Yeah, this is very important to have a mindful smile to maintain our peace and happiness. And yeah, coming to a retreat, for those of you who've been here quite often, you see that we have like almost the same activity on the schedule, right? We do sitting meditation, walking, eating, yeah, touching the earth, and so on. Yeah. But the big joy and the greatest gift that we, as monastic sangha, offer to our friends is that the collective energy of practice. Yeah. So when you come here, it takes you a lot of effort and courage to arrange your time in order to come here and practice. So we together we create a space of safety and trust, so that we can benefit from the collective practice, and we can be a source of inspiration for one another by each one of us coming back to our solidity, our groundedness. We generate our own capacity to be mindful, to be happy, and we contribute to the community so that others, we all can learn, can be inspired by one another, and we benefit from one another. So I have a poem that I like to use in my talk today. The poem called Invitation by Oriya. You know this poem? You know this? Okay. So we talk about collective energy of practice. And I saw in this poem she writes, "It doesn't interest me who you know or how you come here." Oh, sorry. "It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here." You know many monastics here? "I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back." Yeah. So this is like the sense of community practice. We come here, whatever we do together. Yeah. Nowadays, it is very important that we stand together in solidarity. We come together and we practice together. So this is one of the skillful ways that we can involve people in the practice and uh, to strengthen our sense of community living, community practice. Um, so we, like I shared earlier, the practice of giving. Mhm. We offer our practice. We offer our positive energy to co-create this space of safety and trust for all of us can benefit. And at the same time, we see ourselves also a receiver, right? We give and receive. And we learn how to use mindful speech and deep listening so that we can better communicate with one another. We can bring about reconciliation in ourselves, relationship with ourselves and with others. And whatever we do throughout the 7 days in the retreat is to do the good things, do the things that bring about benefit to all people, to the peace and joy for ourselves and for our families and for the society. And the other thing that we can involve people is that we do things together. We practice together. Yeah, this is very important. And by coming together to practice together, we help like the, bring more awareness to society, and healing and transformation can take place easily. Suppose that when you practice at home on your own, how long and how often can you sit still? And when you compare that when you sit in the Sangha, like this morning, and you walk with the Sangha this morning, do you feel the difference? Yeah, you don't have to put a lot of effort, but then right away you feel at ease, you feel at peace. Yeah, so I hope that because we already make a lot of effort to make it, to join the retreat, so we want to put ourselves, make the best of it by like opening ourselves up to receive and also to enjoy the togetherness. Oriah also shared in her poem that says, "It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow. If you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of future, from fear of further pain." I'm reading it again. "It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow. If you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain." We share that with all the work that we have to take on in our life, the busyness, the busyness, they drain a lot of our energy. The interaction with people at the workplace, in the society, also drain our energy. And so we have a lot of depleting time. So we come here to just to have a chance to remind one another to stop. Yeah, like to unwind the habit of always running. So that is the intention of the organizing team when they chose the theme for this retreat. You have enough. You, you have enough. Whatever we do here during this retreat is to strengthen, yeah, the awareness that we want to stop running. The author also say like this: I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. If we are able to sit still, to stop our agitated mind, or because of that energy of restlessness in us that we are not able to stop, and we tend to move, to hide, or fade it, or fix the sorrow or the pain inside us. So the poem that I'm reading to you is just like an invitation, like she named the poem, an invitation for us all to come back and have inner check, with all the pain, the sorrow, the difficulties that we have, whether we are able to sit still and offer our presence for that. Sometimes when we look at what is happening in our life, we can see that it is like the session of our meditation practice. Sometimes we experience joy, happiness, success in our life, but sometimes we also encounter challenges and a lot of stress. But then if we really commit ourselves to come back to our mindful breathing, just one single breath, breathing in, I have arrived in my in-breath. Breathing out, I feel at home in my out-breath. And if we are able to do that, to practice that, just in each single breath, and if we can maintain this practice, arrived in each breath, at home in each breath, and we maintain this for the whole time of our sitting meditation, and we are able to sit still with what is there that is bothering us. And we know that, the difficulties, the tensions are there, but there are also possibilities for joy, for peace, for happiness. So we remember that we need to cultivate joy and peace in the midst of anger, in the midst of despair. Okay. Can we listen to one sound of the bell and really, see for ourselves whether you are able to follow through, and you are able to dwell happily, peacefully in each of your breath. If we can relate what is happening in our life with all the ups and downs, with each single breath, then we have the confidence, we have the trust that we can make it, we can get over the challenges in life just by remembering to always come back to each single breath. It is very simple, very basic, but this is the thing that we have to do. We monastics, we sometimes, I remember a few days ago, our sisters asked us what nourishes me in my monastic path, and they wonder whether I have ever feel so overwhelmed and that I wanted to leave or I wanted to move. They ask that question. And so we, even monastics, we also encounter such challenges and difficulties in our monastic life. But the practice is the same, always coming back to each mindful breath, each mindful step, so that we can refresh. We can refresh our mind to concentrate the mind, because when we are able to concentrate our mind, it is to stop. So you see, okay, let me write on the board. Mindfulness has two aspects. What are they? You remember? The first aspect of mindfulness is stopping. And the second aspect is looking deeply. And if we know how to concentrate our mind, we are able to stop. That's why when we sit, we close our eyes, right? We close our eyes like to close the sense door. I shared with you earlier when was sitting here inviting the bell for the monastic to chant the Namo Avalokiteshvara chant. That was my first time doing this. And, and I felt like I had to concentrate very hard in order to remember like how many times that we have like for one each round how many times in order to invite the bell at the right time. And I was counting the time and I was praying for Thai to be there supporting me and also forgive me if I had done anything wrong. And then this reminded me of one of the novel by Kim Jung, the very famous Chinese writer, who wrote stories about martial arts, martial art, the swordman. So when you read Chinese or Japanese martial arts stories, novels, or Zen stories, you see the image of a blind master, a blind master, blind. But he could feel, he could sense the movement of the opponent's like action by and to avoid the attack. and, and sometimes I relate that image with the image of us doing sitting meditation. We close our eyes. Thầy said that we close the doors of our senses. We close our eyes. We close our ears. It is like that to concentrate our mind so that we can take refuge in the mind consciousness. Yeah? We have the capacity to see things because our eyes, it has the capacity to see. That is the door of the sense. We have the capacity to smell, to hear, right? But if our mind is not at peace, if our mind is not concentrated, but like dispersed or be divided, then whatever that comes to our eyes, like when we look at the flowers, for example, and if our mind is not concentrated, our mind is dispersed or distracted, then we cannot see the flower. The flower is not alive in us, in our consciousness. The bell, we are encouraged to practice listening to the bell. But if our mind is not present, our mind is caught in some thoughts, which is not very beneficial in the present moment. And we cannot hear, we cannot stop in order to practice listening to the sound of the bell. And so when we do sitting meditation, we close those sense doors so that we can focus on the mind consciousness to look deeply what is alive in us at the moment, in the present moment. So stopping is to concentrate the mind. Yeah. And looking deeply is to observe. When we practice mindful eating with the Sangha, do you think that it is also a chance for us to practice stopping? Yes? We practice stopping while we are in line, waiting for our turn to serve our food. Yeah? At that moment, we can be present with what is there, the thoughts that is happening in our mind at that moment. And when we sit down with the Sangha to have our silent meal for the first 20 minutes, it is also an opportunity for us to practice stopping. That's why the brothers and sisters ask us not to stand up or go around during the first 20 minutes of silent meal. Whatever we want to get, like a cup of tea, or we get what we need, the spoon, the fork, that we get that before. And once we are seated on the table, at the table with the Sangha, we practice stopping. Um, and walking meditation with the Sangha is also a chance for us to practice stopping. Yeah. So we can, those practices, we can observe our mind, the habit of always running. So we see the difference between being and becoming. Did you notice on the path from clarity Hamlet to solidity, there's a sign that says, enjoy being, right? Enjoy being. So when we practice mindfulness and stopping, we enjoy being. We arrive in the present moment. We dwell our body and mind peacefully, happily in the present moment. And we accept ourselves for who we are. I am enough. I have enough. I don't need to run. Right? Being. And we accept ourselves with kindness. Kindness. And when we are able to still to concentrate our mind is in the state of peacefulness, then we can recognize many other conditions that bring about joy in our life. Becoming out there, there's a lot of expectation for us to become someone better than ourselves. We want to become that person. We want to improve. We want to achieve more. We want more. Yeah, a lot of things. We do a lot of work. The work seems never end. And we feel overwhelmed by a lot of work. But we don't feel that we are enough. I'm not good enough. Because we are pulled in many directions but by all the demands in life. Yes, becoming helps us to help us grow, right? Helps in becoming a better person of ourselves. Yeah, but if we are not mindful enough, becoming then weighs us down. And there's the silent voice that keeps going on in our head. I am not enough. I don't have enough. And if it happens too often, we start to believe it's true. So, I hope that throughout the retreat, we can practice stopping and looking deeply in the activities that we are doing in order to see the difference between being and becoming, so that we can be whole. Yeah, we can bring back all the pieces, fragmentation, right? Is that the right word? Yeah, because we are like, if we are pulled in many directions, our mind becomes dispersed, and we cannot be whole. Yeah, there are different pieces mm, of ourselves scattered everywhere. So when we practice mindfulness with the Sangha, allow the energy of mindfulness, of love, of the Sangha to penetrate into our soul so that we can collect our mind, we can concentrate our mind, and we become whole so that we can have confidence to say to ourselves and to affirm, to make this affirmation to ourselves that I am enough and I have enough conditions to be happy. Yeah. Okay. Do you practice mindful eating um, in your daily life? Yes. Uh-huh. I'm happy for you. How long does it take for you to finish your meal? 5 minutes. You have time to really sit and enjoy your meal. 10 minutes? No. Half an hour? Oh, okay, good. Um, mm, do you recognize any habits that you have while you are eating? Yes, like eating and watching, scrolling, swiping the phone. So sorry, you don't have that chance to do that in the monastery during the retreat. Yeah, just to help us to take a break, to take a break from the habit energies that do not serve our peace, that do not serve the concentration, yeah, and does not help us to be able to really stop. Mm. Um, I remember a gatha on mindful eating that one of our elder sister put into a song, um, and and it goes like this: in the dimension of space and time, we chew as rhythmically. Can you can you help me pronounce that word? Rhythmically. We chew as rhythmically as we breathe, maintaining the life of our ancestors and opening an upward path for our descendants. So there is a lot of wisdom in just the act of mindful eating. Mm. I see for myself why I sometimes come late for meal. Yeah, because I'm slow. I acknowledge this. but also, but also I recognize that in me there is the habit that I saw in my mother. She went through wars in Vietnam. That's why even when the war stopped, she still had the habit that she wanted to have a lot of food in the house. She wanted to make sure that we have a lot of rice, a lot of oil, a lot of sugar. Yes, a lot. And so I sometimes I wanted to come a little late, just to slow down this habit in me. Mm. Like when I am standing at the line waiting for my turn to serve, and I see in me the excitement, especially when the cooking team serve good food that I like. I have the excitement to get a lot of food. So yeah, sometimes I cannot help it. I cannot be my master of my greed. I have that excitement, but sometimes I want to just slow down to come late in order not to feed that habit. So, yeah, when we are able to eat mindfully, we help recognize the habit energies in our ancestors. Our parents are our youngest ancestor, right? Yeah, so that we can help embrace that habit energy that does not help with the peace and joy and help transform that habit energy. In the dimension of space and time, we choose as rhythmically, we choose as rhythmically as we breathe, maintaining the life of our ancestors, opening an upward path for our descendants. Yeah. So, thank you. uh, you will have your family of your own. So it's good that you train yourself the mindful eating so that you can help recognize and embrace the habit that you may be inherited from your ancestors and transform it so that you just pass down to your children and your grandchildren the uh, uh, mindful energy, right? Um, I also know another song regarding mindful eating that I like to sing to you, and this time I hope that is better. Mm. Yeah, as I say, we come here and we review together the basic practices so that we can enjoy our practice. We don't take for granted, we don't feel bored. Oh, basic practice is always the same, there's nothing special. Yeah. So, with that in mind, I'd like to sing you a song regarding mindful eating. Um, so, today, when we serve ourselves, we look into our bowl or our plate, right? And we can be in touch with so many hearts and hands that come together to make this food. Sometimes, some of our practice center, we don't read the 5 contemplations, but we sing instead. On this plate, there are many hands. You know this song? No? Okay, so I can sing it to you. By Jody Kessler. On this hand, oh sorry, on this plate, on this plate, there are many hands. The hands that sow the seeds, the hands that till the land, the hands that worked the harvest and brought it to the stands. Yes, on this plate, there are many hands. Yeah? Okay, it's not finished yet. In you use a blade and you also use a bowl. In this bowl are sun and rain and air, the garden soil and the tiny creatures that live there, the delicate balance of beings great and small. In this bowl we have them all. So when we eat, yeah, we also touch interbeing. We also see that we are connected with many people and all beings, so that we can see that we are not alone. Yeah, we are deeply connected. In this food, there are many souls. There may be our family who served it in our bowl. There may be migrant workers whom we never know, who can't afford to buy the food they grow. So if we are able to sit still and look deeply into the food. We even see the hands of the migrant workers who cannot afford to buy the food they grow. In this room, there are many hands. Let's join them all together in the circle if we can. In this sacred silence, we eat in silence, right? In this sacred silence, let there be gratitude. Let there be gratitude for the many hearts and hands that made this food. Yeah. So today, when we sit together having meals with the Sangha, for the first 20 minutes in silence, yeah, so we can offer our gratitude to all the hands, all the hearts that make the food. Yes, if we are able to do this, we have a lot of joy, of happiness inside us. Yeah. Can we have one sound of the bell? It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. You may have studied with our teacher, Thai, but you may have studied meditation from other tradition, right? I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. This is the contemplation for us to check with ourselves. We have studied a lot. We have read a lot. Yeah. But what sustains us from the inside when all else falls away? When things in the world seem to be too much, too overwhelming. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moment. Uh, yeah, we practice with the Sangha and we feel supported by the collective energy of the Sangha, of the community. But we also need to remember that each one of us has to deal with our own issues, and only us who should know, should understand better our situation. In meditation practice, the practitioner, has to deal with their own inner world. Yeah. So please, if you have anything that arises in your mind, please make the time for yourself. Make yourself available so that you can sit with what is there that may be bothering you. Just to come back to each breath Yeah, and stay connected. We in the practice we say miên mật. You follow your breath continuously and offer your loving presence for what is there inside you at that moment. Just by simply recognizing that, call it by its name, whether it is anger, whether it is loneliness, whether it is um, lack of self-worth. Yeah, so you can allow yourself time to sit with that and breathe with that and smile with that, so that you can befriend your your sorrow, you can befriend your your pain. And it takes some effort to do this. It needs diligence. Um, the diligence in the practice is that uh, we take care of the unbeneficial seeds, the things that we don't want to manifest, that bother our state of peace. Like we don't want to water the seed of anger. We don't want to water the seed of jealousy, for example. But instead, we want to water the good seeds. So coming to the retreat is a good opportunity that we can inspire one another and learn from one another to cultivate the seed of peace, the seed of compassion, of understanding. We need very much those beautiful seeds in order to embrace the not so beautiful seeds. Yeah. So I'd like to end my sharing here. Mm, and yeah, I hope that you can enjoy and make the best of your time here practicing with the community in the days to come. And maybe allow me 1 minute to mention about the lazy day. I know Sister Myvin, she wants to know what we practice with lazy day. Yeah, we have such a luxury to have a lazy day during this 7 day of retreat. Um, it's not really lazy, literally lazy. um, it's also a skillful means to remind us, yeah, to stop running, yeah, so that we can enjoy being. Yeah, lazy day when we don't have to be busy with all the responsibilities and the work. Yeah, just to relax, to rest. Yeah, and whatever we have to do, we we do it in a free way and joyful way. Yeah, yeah. What we do, we really want to find joy and meaning. Yeah, and um, lazy day we can also touch more deeply noble silence. Actually, noble silence should be present in all the activities we are doing during our day if we want to cultivate energy of mindfulness. Yeah, like even in the the places or the spaces where there are a lot of activities, a lot of noise, but if we are able to maintain the noble silence inside us, that is the inner stillness, inner stillness inside us. We will not be bothered by the activities, by the noise outside. Yeah. know that some of our monastics on lazy days, they find the place of refuge, the sanctuary, and they go to the mountain to sit with their own sorrow. And then when they come back to the monastery, all the sorrow is gone. Mm. Or some monastic who have a lot of suffering, they go open the trails, the path for us. And when they finish opening the trail, then they transform the suffering and they become happy again. So when we hike on the mountain, yeah, we can give rise to gratitude to those monastics. They are like the really trailblazer. Thank you so much for your listening. We listen to three sounds of the bell.